A locus is just a set of points that follow a certain rule or condition. Imagine this. A dog is tied to a pole with a 2-meter leash. The dog can move in a circle, right? That circle is the locus of all the points that are 2 or less than 2 meters away from the pole. There are 3 categories of locus. The first one defines the distance from a point, as we saw in the dog example. Now, how are we actually supposed to find that on a paper? We'll need a compass for that. Use a ruler to extend the compass needle so that the distance is, let's say, 5 centimeters. Next, place the needle at the point you have to find the locus of. Then rotate the compass to draw a circle around the point. The region inside that circle is the locus of all the points that are less than 5 centimeters away from the point, and the region outside the circle defines the locus of all the points that are more than 5 centimeters away from the point. The second category defines the locus of the points equidistant from 2 intersecting lines. For example, these 2 lines here. To find the region that is closer to one line than the other, we need to find the angle bisector. The angle bisector is a line that cuts the angle between 2 lines into 2 equal angles. To find the angle bisector, place the needle where the 2 lines cut. Then draw 2 arcs like this that cut both the lines. Make sure the compass's length stays the same. Next, place the needle on one of the arcs where it cuts the line. Then draw another arc somewhere between. Do the same for the other arc, making sure the 2 new arcs cut each other. Use a ruler to draw a straight line that joins point O and X. This line is called the angle bisector. The region to the left of the bisector is the locus of the points that are closer to line OA than to line OB, whereas the region to the right of the bisector is the locus of the points that are closer to line OB than to line OA. And finally, the points that lie on the line are equidistant from both lines. The third category is related to the perpendicular bisector, and also known as a mediator. It is a line that cuts another line into 2 equal segments and is also perpendicular to that line. It defines the locus of the points that are equidistant from 2 points. Unlike the angle bisector, where the points are equidistant from 2 lines instead of 2 points. To draw the perpendicular bisector of 2 points, extend the compass to about roughly 2/3 of the distance. Place the needle on one point, then draw an arc like this. Draw another arc on the other side like this. Then, without changing the length of the compass, place the needle on the other point and draw another set of 2 arcs that intersect the previous arcs. Then, using a ruler, join both points of intersection. This line is the perpendicular bisector. Any point that lies on the left is closer to A, and any point that lies on the right is closer to B, whereas any point that lies on this line is equidistant from both points. Now let's take a look at a question that sums up what we have learned so far. Region T consists of all the points inside the triangle, which are less than 6 centimeters from P. If you remember, this part is talking about the first category we learned, distance from a point. Extend the compass to 6 centimeters using a ruler, then place the needle at point P, then draw an arc around it. Remember, the question states the region T is inside the triangle, so there's no need to draw the whole circle. Lastly, let's shade the region that is less than 6 centimeters from P, which is the region inside this arc. The second part is about distance from 2 points, R and Q. We learned that this is done using the perpendicular bisector. Place the compass needle on Q and extend it to about 2/3 of QR. Then draw 2 arcs above and below the line like this. Do the same with point R. It should look something like this. Secondly, the question says that the points are closer to R than to Q, so we'll shade the region on the right of the bisector. Lastly, the third part is about distance from 2 lines QP and QR, which we learned is done using the angle bisector. The 2 lines form an angle at Q, so place the needle there. Then draw 2 arcs cutting both lines. Then place the needle on one of the intersection points and draw an arc somewhere between the 2 lines. Repeat with the other intersection point, drawing another arc that cuts the previous arc. Finally, join Q to the point where the arcs cut each other, with a straight line. This is the angle bisector. We need the region closer to QP, so we'll shade the region above the angle bisector. The question asks to shade the region T, which is the region that follows all the above 3 rules. This is the region that is overlapped by all 3 colored areas, and hence T is the region right here. This is the answer to this question. However, to gain full marks, you have to show all the construction lines. So your final answer should look like this.